Welcome back everyone. I hope you all had a pleasant lunch and are feeling refreshed for the final set of session for the day. To begin, let's have a quick recap of the lecture we attended before lunch. I will now like to invite Ms. Ria to give us a brief summary of the previous session.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to brief the previous lecture, which was about Green Restaurants Assessment Graphs, a tool for evaluation and classification. This presentation mainly focused on how we can evaluate and promote sustainability in the restaurant industries. The GRASS tool was developed and validated in Brazil to measure how well restaurants follow sustainable practices. It looks at three major indicators: environmental, social, and economic sustainability. These three pillars together show whether a restaurant is truly sustainable or not just by being eco-friendly but also by being socially responsible and economically stable. The GRASS tool uses a traffic light system to classify restaurants. Those that follow strong sustainable practices receives a green seal. Restaurants with moderate efforts are given a yellow seal, and those that show very little or non-sustainable activity receives a red seal. This makes it easy to identify which restaurants are performing well and which need improvement. From the study conducted in the Brazilian Federal District, it was found that modern restaurants lack sustainable actions, especially in areas like waste management, energy conservation, and responsible source of ingredients. This shows that there is still a big gap between awareness and actual implementation. The study also emphasized that sustainability should not only be about environmental issues, it should also include fair treatment of workers, support local communities, and long-term business stability. The speaker also compared the results with other international studies. For example, research from Australia shows that customer expectations play a major role in motivating restaurants to become greener. Similarly, studies from other countries highlighted that chefs' creativity and resourcefulness can greatly help in reducing food waste and promoting sustainable cooking methods. These findings shows that everyone from restaurant owners and chefs to customers has a role in making food service sector more sustainable. In conclusion, the GRASS tools provides a simple and effective way to evaluate restaurants based on sustainability. It encourages restaurants to adopt greener practices and helps consumers make more informed choices. The overall message of this lecture was that sustainability in restaurants is not just a trend but a necessary step toward protecting our environment, ensuring social responsibility, and supporting the global goals for developmental. Thank you.
Thank you, Ria, for the clear and concise briefing. Now we move to the tutorial session titled Classroom Discussion on the Role of Food Handlers in Improving Food Quality and Confidence of the Final Consumer. The session will be conducted by Dr. Antonio, and since this is his last session with us in this Gyan program, I encourage all participants to make it as interactive as possible. Feel free to share your thoughts, experiences, and questions throughout the session. Let's welcome Dr. Antonio to lead this final and engaging session. Over to you, sir.
The session? I think is not. Then discussion in the first. No, that's the green. Yes, that that one. Yes, perfect. Good afternoon. I hope all of you had a great lunch and are ready for our last session of the course. And let's go to it. And in this last session, we will discuss the role of food handlers in improving food quality and confidence on the final consumer, and the hands-on millet-based products development also focused on the millet-based products. And first of all, let's point out how important is that consumers trust in food and in the food system. And This is a responsibility of all of us, all of the stakeholders, to make all the population, all the consumers that have trust in what they buy from the point of view of safe products. So product assurance that supports consumer confidence in the safety and quality of food. And we have, for example, the food packaging labels that we have already discussed in the previous session that provide the information of all the products at the point of purchase when we are buying these products. We are talking about the food attribute claims, the certifications, the country and region origin, and it is related with country image and the food traceability information. And then we have also the food system actors, those ones who supply the food or assure its safety and quality. In this regard, we have the food supply chain operators, who produce, process, manufacture, and distribute and sell the food items. We are talking on the farmers, producers, the manufacturers and processors, and the retailers, and also the food industry influencers who detect or influence the food safety and quality parameters, as the government agencies and third-party institutions and some advocacy groups and the mass media. So it is a role of all the involved in this action, how to make consumers have more trust in what they buy. Here we have a study that pointed out the available evidences for factors associated with safe food handling practices. And from this study, we depicted the factors. We have very different factors, and then the total studies that included and researched these same factors, and then those ones with a score greater than 50%, a positive score with more equal or more 50%. And we found out that those studies that included the factors of food safety attitudes and food safety knowledge were where we found more evidence, stronger evidence regarding these factors associated with the food handling practices. You have also then this figure that represents the conceptual framework and illustrates the available evidences for factors associated with safe food handling practices. We can see the arrows that are in bold. We find a very strong association. For example, the food safety knowledge and the food safety attitudes, a very strong association with the use of safe food handling practices by the food handlers. Then you have the moderate group, and it also associated with this moderate relation that we have the food safety training, and then the non-bold with the evidence is limited, as we can see the work experience, type of food premises, and the education level. And when we have the absence of arrows linking social, demographic, and other factors to safe food handling practices is because we have no evidence. And these factors are these that are gender, age, marital status, income, and also other factors like the premises, location, type of hand washing facility, adequacy of building and facilities, presence of insects and rodents. This doesn't mean that these factors cannot be related or can be associated with this, but the evidence that we can find in the literature is insufficient. We have not that robust evidence in the literature, not so great as into the other factors that are represented especially in bold. These are also the review of insights to improve food safety in the food service industry, and we can find here that the insights to improve food safety in food services. This study found, for example, educational needs. Then food safety culture and climate assessment is an appropriate starting point to identify the educational needs of that society. The educational strategies to plan educational actions based on educational needs and diagnosis. That knowledge communication, the risk perception should be improved through practical and on-site education. Once again, highlighting the important role of education also in these food safety practices in the service industry. And then the management, co-worker support, and leadership are the strongest factors in a food safety environment, in a food safety climate. This is the major premise on which improvement strategies should be based. Leaders must convey the company's mission, values, and objectives to all the employees, and this should work in perfect collaboration between all the parties involved. Again, the applied food safety measures aligned with organizational culture involve all employees in its implementation and increase the focus on food safety. The improve infrastructure and environment as adequate facilities, improve practices and culture. The financial and non-financial rewards to provide these rewards and praise the employees for good behavior and warn or bad behaviors. Be aware of job complexity. With many food preparation steps, a complex job reduces food safety and increases burnout, disaffection, and motivation. All of these aspects are related with the management are of extreme importance. And then those related with the employees and the increase of employees' self-commitment by involving them in the planning stages and decisions on food safety. It is also of great relevance. Here we have 12 clusters regarding the food safety culture elements, dimensions that we can also identify in the literature, and they are the people, so the knowledge, experience, training, behavior, attitudes, all related to the people system. The commitment we have already raised out in the previous slide. The self-commitment, management, the commitment, the cooperation, the leadership, control, competence, and the management that support that they support to the all the involved. The food safety management system. These management systems, the style of process control and process thinking, the risk perception, awareness, judgment, and underestimation, the work environment, this environment support, infrastructure, facilities, equipment, and resources. The consistency and coherence of the formal systems and the practice. The communication, also another very important element, the communication and information symmetry. The pressure, the work pressure, normative beliefs, and workload and time. This can also affect the food safety culture. Then the power of adaptability, and the policy and strategy, the vision, values, strategy, objectives, and the business priorities. And finally, but not least, the external environment that also is related to the food safety culture. The external factors, company, national values, and the national culture. Here we have the example of the milk and meat safety in developing countries, and how is the vision, and what are the challenges regarding this. We can see here the vision, mission, and strategic goal, and we have the vision of safe and healthy food for all individuals, the mission of strengthened food control system to promote, protect, and support consumer health, and the strategic goal of strengthening country capacity in managing food safety risk through integrated food control programs across all the food chain. So to implement approaches, the implementation approach strategy, it's important to establish cross-sectional collaboration mechanism for food control programs at national level, to encourage academics to support the government in food control, motivate food business operators to undertake primary responsibility in this food control, and implement technology advancements to support food control. So if all of this works, it will be much easier to make consumers trust in not only the quality but also in the innocuousness and in the safe of the products they will be provided. So here you can see this sharing of responsibilities and tasks between the government, the academic, the food business, and finally at last point the consumer. Regarding the the millet-based products development, we can see here the major millet-producing countries, and it is not with surprise that we see India is the greatest and the greatest producer of this of this millet-based products development. So let's explore, or more than explore, to summarize a little bit what we have already discussed in previous sections in other lectures in our course, and that are the properties, the advantage of the utilization of these millet byproducts and for development of different value-added products. We can see they can have very different extraction techniques, one conventional and the other more sustainable, as the green techniques with the utilization of biodegradable films and utilization of food additives in comparison with other conventional techniques. And one of the problem can be the anti-nutrients that we find in millets that we have already discussed in other sessions. I will not go so in depth in this. Perhaps in discussion, if you want, we can go, but this have been already discussed. But more important that these anti-nutrients that you can find in the milk-based products like the phytic acid, the tannins, oxalic acid, and enzyme inhibitors we can find. It is the advantages of various processing techniques and technologies that we can apply to mitigate the effect of these anti-nutrients and to make these based milk products more interesting and more effective when we advise the consumption for the populations. We have already discussed some of these technologies, for example, soaking. Remember yesterday you have also say in the examples to even at home-made practices to have some interesting and nutritional milk-based products with soaking. But you have also the milling, the dehuling, the parboiling, the fermentation, and the puffing and pumping. All these technologies can be used to make the role of these anti-nutrients less relevant and make more nutritional recovery of the properties of these products. So it is important to learn out of this, because these based new products can be a very great interest for some of our communities and our populations. And of course, we have part of the anti-nutrients, we have bioactive compounds that we can identify in the millet-based products like phenolic acids, flavonoids, and all of these that we have already discussed in other sessions that can be of great interest. This is a kind of summary of what we have already learned in previous lectures. But since we are or you are here in India, one of the greatest producers of these based new products and have a great importance, I think it should be of great interest to come again with this topic. And of course, first of all, the innocuousness and the safety of these food items must be assured. So let's discuss a little bit about this, about how important is to have the trust of the consumers for the food industry, for the food companies, and for sure for the health. Not only to choose a food item because I like it, because I like its flavor, the organoleptic characteristics, the sensory characteristics, not only because they can be good for my health, that can improve, for example, can enhance the gut microbiota, everything, but first of all, they must be safe. I must have trust that in having lunch in a food establishment, or that I will buy this food item in this store, in this market, it is a safe product. So let me know, how is your trust in the products you buy in your daily life? If you have this trust on the food establishments, on the food stores, on the markets you go, or not, and what makes you not have the trust, or what could improve your trust in that establishments, what could be made to improve this trust in the places where you buy your raw materials, your ingredients, your foods. Let me know. Let me know a little bit about it. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Like, I think according to me, advertisement plays a very big role in creating trust in all the customers. Like, whenever we also go to any supermarket or in something, we demand the brand. Let it be healthy or non-healthy, does not matter. We demand a brand that if this brand is available, please provide us that.
Okay.
So if that's not available, we might second thought, like should we buy that or not? So I think advertisement always plays a major role in building
If you
trust.
are accustomed to buy some kind of food product of one brand, so you will like to buy other food products, other things for the same brand. So you have trust on the brand in one specific product, so you will trust also in the other products of that brand. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Not like it depends. Like some products of some brand like that. We don't
Okay.
trust the brand. Actually, we trust the product of that brand. Like for
Okay.
example, everything like ha.
Yes or no, and why? And what makes you have that trust, or what makes you have no trust on the Indian food system? In all aspects, not only a specific kind of store or establishment, generally speaking. Food restaurants, stores, malls, markets, small markets. Do you have trust, generally speaking, if you have to put everything on a balance, on a scale? Do you have trust? Yes or no? It is a question. Yes or no, and why? Who wants to give me that perspective? The macro, please.
Again, it depends. Like not everything we trust. Not only about Indian or abroad. We don't
Yes,
discriminate.
that's true. That's true. But if you put all of things in a
Same scale. Yeah, I understand. Like we actually we don't blindly trust everything, nor we
sure, for
blindly
sure,
disagree
for
everything.
sure, for sure.
I have like before doing anything, trusting anything, I just experience once. If I have any bad reasons for that, then only I disagree for that product. So
For
maybe
example, do you have trust in eating out, outing at home? You have trust if you go outside and go to a restaurant or food
yeah,
establishment or a cafe and have a meal there, a lunch, a dinner, or what else, or not at all?
so to be frank, first is the appearance. Like externally, if that restaurant looks good, hygienic from the outside,
The external
definitely.
appearance of the restaurant. Yes,
Yes.
that's the first.
If it is very good, then definitely I'll have. I will not have in the second
You,
choice.
of course.
I'll just enter. Then their presentation, like I'll say, oh, okay, now it's good.
The
Like,
presentation of which? Of the tables, of
no,
of the space, the
table,
environment, or
No,
the
before
food
coming,
handlers?
coming before, we'll go on the internal stuffs like the
Okay.
table, the decorations, anything.
Everything, yes,
So,
environment.
that will make us like I think 70-80% of the trust will be built at that moment. And after food, maybe
And
we get disappointed,
do
maybe
you
we not.
do you pay attention for the practices of the waiters, of the food handlers that are serving the foods, or that is not so relevant for you? Their hygienic aspect, the conduct, their behavior, the way they serve, or that is not that is something that you not pay so much attention.
Not external of the like hygiene or something, I don't that much mind, but their behavior. If they are like, I do personally, like they are smiling and giving me something, I feel like okay, then it's good. So we don't like I personally don't go on that. I see their behavior on that waiting service.
Okay, okay, I see. Anyone else want to share the perspective? All of you are in agreement with the colleague, or someone else want to share some different point of view? Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So for food safety, we also consider the vendor from whom we are purchasing the goods. Like in my home, there are certain shops from where only we get the goods for our home. And for restaurant also, first we ask from other people like how's the food or how's the ambience, then we consider the place.
Yes, and our order prepared, of course. But that is the point. In our homes, we of course know at least how we or our relatives, our parents, our sisters will prepare the food. But here the thing is, how do you have, or if you have trust in a meal that you don't know how it was prepared. You didn't see the preparation. You only have access to the final product. And the question is, do you trust that from this safety point of view, that all the safety practices were established, and all the people, the food handlers, accomplished with their duties and make it in a safe way? That is the question. Do you have trust or not, and why?
So while eating in a restaurant, so we don't know who are preparing and how they're handling. But
So you have to trust.
yes, that is a blind game. Like if you go to a restaurant and you have the food and you didn't fall ill after eating that food, that means the quality was good and you were healthy after eating it. But if you have bad experience after eating from a restaurant, then second time you will think second time to go to that place.
Yes, that is important. Also, the customer, the habit, you go to the restaurant and you enjoy one time, two time, and then you are accustomed and you know that the food you will be served there, it is at least of good quality. Yes, that is also important. That is also important because if once you go to the restaurant and you will have a disgust, for sure you will not come back. So this is the same with the other kinds of food sellers and the food industry, is to gain this confidence, this trust in the customers, in the consumers, and that is very very important. And of course, when the food safety is not assured, when the basic food safety standards are not accomplished, it is difficult to get more interest, more trust, more confidence from the other side, from the consumers. Yes.
So we also see the tablewares which are in front, like the plates, cutlery, the glasses. If they are clean, then we think that
Yes,
okay,
all of the
hygiene
things
is
are
maintained.
important. The hygienic cleaning aspect of the waiter, if it has a hygienic aspect or not, this is also important. The smile that they are serving, if they are open to discuss everything about the menu, the choice. This is important to make you have more trust on that specific establishment or not.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I just want to ask, like, how marital status affect this food safety handling everything? Like,
How?
how marital status? Like, if the person is married or unmarried, what is the link between food safety? The factors which affecting your food, gender, age, everything in this way.
How this can be a relationship between the marital status and the food handling. In some literature says that if an individual, if it is married, they have to care of their own. So if they are more accustomed to treat the things and, for example, prepare the cook in their homes, they must be more conscious than also in the work. So it is expected that these food practices could be increased or improved in comparison, for example, with those individuals that are not married. It is more on that way, but those aspects are not the most crucial. But yes, we can find some relations, interesting
So
relations.
means married people shows more good
Yes,
or
some studies show that, but of course are not the most relevant aspects. And we see that the food knowledge and the food attitudes, that for sure are the most well related, and we see the most powerful associations in the literature that are the food knowledge and food attitudes. Also followed by the training, the training sessions that we provide to the food.
Multinational companies,
The marketing companies, yes.
multinational companies take over Indian market See, just like if you're talking sauces, yeah, KFC, yeah, what is mm, anything is the just like fast food.
Yes.
It is comes from generally western part of then income in India.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a good for in their profitable. So see, if we take chicken 1 kg approximately 150 rupees, and it is made by suppose some KFC same chicken 800 yeah, 1000 rupees kg.
Oh, yes.
So it is the only dependent on their marketing, not for quality. So how can you justify this is the good for their strategy for Indian people or not?
But where is the food safety? The food safety there?
Earlier people see earlier people not uses chicken other
Yes, they,
from
they, they didn't use chicken and those products. Yes.
yes, but capsicum he
But
told
capsi, what's the? I didn't understand that word. What is that? Capsi.
KFC chicken
What's that? I'm not understanding what is the word you are saying. Capsis.
KFC chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken I understand, but the other word capsi.
One company KFC is company.
Oh, the capsi is the name of the company.
company.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So what is actually they said na ki I made see in India they not buy from any types of chicken from outsider. He
Yeah. Yes, they have your own production of chicken. Yes,
each every product is mine, but their charges is very high.
the charges for produce chicken.
Yeah, it is a very high. Then how can we rely that?
I don't know. Tell me you.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm sorry. But why? I don't understand why the taxes are very high for you to produce chicken. Perhaps in some regions are higher than others. No, or that is in all the countries. So chicken is a high value product for you. I'm asking. I don't know. I'm asking.
No, it is a very low, not
Very low.
yes.
But so that's my question. Why so high taxes to produce chicken? We must see that. I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to share or to justify that. So if chicken is a low price, as low price, people doesn't need to pay too much money to buy chicken products, right? And how is that possible if you have high taxes to produce? That's my question. I don't know, and doesn't make any sense for me. Is that in all regions where I don't know if you have some regions where those taxes are different applied, or you are generally speaking that in all the country all people have high taxes to produce and to sell chickens products.
Actually, in India, farms is there. See, they grow in their poultry farm.
Yes.
Okay, and sell. Okay.
Yes, but we are saying that selling from the farms, they must pay high taxes, right?
No, they sell in nominal rates, nominal prices.
Yes.
But when you come into the restaurant, yeah, any other shops, their prices is too much high.
Oh, and go to the restaurants, not if you want to consume the chicken at home.
No. So if you go to restaurant for the chicken, it is a
Okay,
prices.
so if I eat the chicken at home, it has a normal or a low price. But if I go to a restaurant to buy chicken, and that only occurs with chicken, not with other products, with other kind of food items, no? Only with chicken specifically.
Only chicken.
And in all regions, in all India.
No.
And what is the reason for that? I don't know, I'm asking.
No, see. Okay.
There is any specific reason for? I don't know. I would love to have the answer, but I don't know. I don't know, and I don't see the reason for that.
No, so the thing which he talked, KFC, it's actually an abroad brand, US brand chicken.
Abroad, that it
yes.
is not from India. It comes from
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So that is a brand in now launched in India. Like we can say a kind of a restaurant where we find chickens.
So varieties of chicken. So he's saying that the KFC chicken price is different, and the same product, if the type like recipe, if that same recipe is brought from any other normal restaurant, or if we cook at home, the price is low.
Yes, but that is understandable. That is because we are talking about different chickens. That is the same if I make the comparison, for example, in Portugal, that we are accustomed to buy, for example, and eat beef, and if we buy it in the grocery shops, in the markets, and prepare it at home, it has one price. If you go to a restaurant, make has another price, and if even you go to a restaurant that, for example, a specific species of Argentinian beef, we can pay much more. So of course this difference can happen. So I was surprised, and I was thinking that all the chickens were applied a kind of tax. I don't know why, to make them very much expensive when I go to a restaurant. But of course, after your explanation, when you say that, it is understandable. Of course, if we are talking about some kind of different species or different chickens from an international brand that comes from other side and to implement, and of course if you want to have the experience to try or to buy or to taste that specific product, it is more expensive, and now it makes sense of the reason for high price when compared with the local products. That now I understand. I understand. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for clarification. Yes.
Your last slides, last classes, you talk about food vending machines.
Food vending machines. Yes, in the previous sessions. Yes.
In previous sessions, we talked to the food vending machine, and last session I will also ask you from how to their cost cutting is the beneficial for all human beings. How can we use in different ways in a small scale also, not a big scale, in a small scale also. So apart from this, can we do another practices uh, for this?
How can be cost effectively the food vending machine products for the populations in a small scale? It depends how small you are talking about, and it depends of the food items you want to introduce in the machines. For example, if you want to have food vending machines, plenty of fresh products with limited extensive, limited shelf life period. Of course, how small will be these potential customers. So we have to think on it. Or other possibility is not to make that machine plenty of fresh products or with not so a great amount of food products. So you have to see the potential users and the ingredients, the food items we will want to be make available in the machine. But can be feasible, can be visible. But of course, first of all, you have to study the potential customers we will have and their food preferences, their food habits, and what they want to buy from the vending machine. It's like a cafe or restaurant. When you open a food establishment, it is interesting to know what are the food preferences of the population of in the neighborhoods, and to see their food habits, to see if the kind of meals you prepare, you want to sell, are adequate for that population. I don't know if it is in line with your question.
Sorry, what are you saying?
I don't know if this is aligned with your question. If this answers to your question, this.
It is actually I'm asking. See, European countries per capita income different,
Yes, of course.
and Indians, that means Asian continent, per capita income different. In apart, especially if you talk about India. Okay, so it is we can't actually last 9 days session going on for food security. So in my thinking, maybe per capita income is also play an important role for this.
Yes, it can be, but it depends. Again, it can work in India because what kind of investment you have in a food vending machine system and you have in a food establishment? You have less investment in a food vending machine.
In India, no too much people are doing these types of practices in our
Yes, because you haven't, or you have very fewer. But if you think and if you make counts, it is what we have already discussed. In a food establishment, you will have also expenditures related with electricity and more than electricity. You have to make the building, the infrastructures, to pay the salaries for the human resources. And with the food vending machine, you have only to make the initial investment on the equipment, or even make some agreement with a company that have already these vending machines and provide electricity to make the machine works, and then see which foods could be of great interest to be dispensed in the machine. Of course, this must be studied, especially when people are not accustomed to this kind of selling food. But why not to try? Of course, at the starting point, you have to be very careful and cautious. But I don't see how can it be so different from the point of view of investment when compared with traditional food establishment.
but definitely per capita income, yeah. What is saying that budget, family budget, yeah.
Sorry,
I'm saying that per capita income,
per time.
per capita, that means family income.
Yes, but what is the relationship? I don't understand.
See,
Once again, you can have cheap food in the vending machine. How can you be? How can we are discussing about the per capita income and related with the food consumption of vending machines? You can have even lower prices in vending machines than in a cafe or in another food establishment. It will depend.
okay.
I think that there is no relation.
No, if we have a lower income,
Yes.
then how can we afford? Our company is very very small. You are last. Sorry.
But no, not for all the companies. I don't know. In India, you don't have any company of food vending machines. In great cities, in Delhi, in Bombay, there are no vending machine industry. In the airport, I think I saw it. So it is a question to make some agreement. For example, do they bring some of that machines, for example, here in your campus? And there is no reason for a food at higher prices there than in a canteen.
So ultimately, budget is a very important.
Sorry,
Budget, that means what is
desert.
budget play an important role for the establishment of this
But I don't understand. Desert? What desert?
budget.
Budget. Yes, budget. But
So
once again, I don't understand the relation. But budget, how can you relate budget? Once again, I say that you can have lower prices related with the investment, with the expenditure, with the price of the end product. You can have lower prices when compared with the other food establishments. Because, for example, you don't need to pay salaries. In a canteen, in a food establishment, you need.
maybe for another part from hygiene is important. No? Again, we have to pay for extra charges for this and electricity.
Extras charge, but electricity in a food establishment for preparing a meal, you need electricity. I think no.
No, manually people are also
No.
manual.
I think you need electricity to have a food establishment working. You need some people that prepare the food, and that people must have a salary. A machine, you can connect it to the electricity and nothing more.
Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for such an engaging and insightful classroom discussion. Today's interactive session beautifully highlighted the crucial role that food handlers play in maintaining food quality and ensuring consumer confidence. The points raised reflected a deep understanding of how safe food handling practices directly shape the trust and satisfaction of the final consumer. A big appreciation to all the participants for their active involvement. Your thoughtful inputs, questions, and reflections truly made this discussion lively, meaningful, and enriching for everyone. Also, on behalf of everyone here, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Antonio Rapso for being with us and guiding us so consistently over the past 10 days. Sir, it has been an honor and privilege to learn from your expertise and dedication. Your insightful sessions have broadened our perspectives and added immense value to this GYAN program. With this, we'll now take a short break before we conclude this wonderful journey. The valedictory session will begin at 4 p.m. So we request everyone to rejoin us then as we wrap up this enriching 10-day program and celebrate its successful completion. Thank you.